Hi, this is Chris Watters of Watters International Realty. As some of you might know, my office is located right in the heart of Austin at Mopac and 2222. We're in District 10 of Austin, and I've got a really special guest we're going to be interviewing today. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Austin, it's really important you understand the hot button topics and you know about the leaders in the community that are making decisions. So we're going to go talk and meet with Robert Thomas, who is running for City Council of District 10, and learn what his plan is to help get Austin back on top in terms of several of the hot topic buttons that people are asking about. Let's go meet with him right now. Hi, this is Chris Watters. I'm sitting here with Robert Thomas. You're off Mopac in 2222 at our headquarters. And Robert, I know you're a week away from early voting with the City Council. I'm excited to learn, what sparked the interest to get you to run for City Council for District 10.
Sure. Well, I've been active in the community for over 20 years. I moved here to go to law school and then later got my MBA from the University of Texas. I got super engaged in the entrepreneurial community. I spent some time at a high-tech startup, started investing in local businesses, started creating my own businesses, buying and selling businesses. At the same time, so I really started getting appreciation of the impact on regulation on business people who were trying to build good jobs for folks.
Sure.
And I also started actively serving on things like the Austin Child Guidance Center Board, the Safe Place Board for preventing domestic violence and sexual assault. In other words, trying to give back to the community in a meaningful way. And as my children got older, I got involved in the school district, and people said, "Man, you're doing a great job. Would you keep going?"
Great. Well, tell me a little bit about what your action plan would be. What are some of the action steps you would encourage we put into place to improve traffic congestion so we don't have this issue in 10, 20, 30 years?
Absolutely. So let's look back first. Well, people were saying the same thing in a relative time frame 10, 15, 20 years ago. There are no new ideas. There's just been a failure of leadership to implement them. Number one, we have to have a multimodal, global, strategic transportation plan that talks about all of Austin, but also all of the region, taking into account that we are a big commuter city now and a big commuter region. That means we need to have a strategic plan that talks about how we're going to develop our roadways, how we're going to prioritize those where the greatest need is first, and then expanding out, and also looking at bringing real affordable public transportation to all of Austin, not just parts of Austin. And I think the way that we get started is that if this Proposition 1 doesn't pass, we sit down with the community and we do the plan for the first time. It'll surprise you, Chris, there is no global multimodal plan today, despite the fact we've been talking about traffic congestion as a nightmare for Austin for the last 50 years.
The thing we just talked about a second ago is affordability. Property taxes are going through the roof for a lot of people that have been in Austin for 10 and 15 years, and they're having to move to rural parts or even consider relocating outside of Austin. And I'm kind of curious, what are your plans, and what things would you help implement to ensure that we can keep Austin affordable for the people that live here?
Sure. Well, let me talk about, I've complimented you before about your disruptive technology, your disruptive business plan, bringing solutions for homeowners and prospective home buyers in Austin. That's been an exciting thing. I don't want anyone to demonize you or anyone that's moving in saying that they're driving our property values up.
Sure.
Right? Property values are going to go up and down based upon the market. The problem is not the property valuation, right? There was a time when we would be excited. Our property values went up. Hey, we're rich. We're going to retire, right?
Hey, I'm commission based. I want them to go up, but it's it's a double-edged sword.
So let me tell you where I think the real problem is, Chris. The real problem is in the tax rate that's set by all the taxing entities. It doesn't matter how high the valuation of the property is. It matters how much the local governments, including the city of Austin, want to raise your taxes or raise the tax rate to be able to fund inefficient government, to be able to fund wants and luxuries as opposed to the core municipal services. So what I propose is that we go back and we do a top to bottom audit of the city, all city departments, and the city budget, both a performance review of the departments and an audit of the finances to figure out, do we really need to tax the citizens of Austin at the rate we're doing, which is really what creates the unaffordability issue.
Now, the last thing I've got to ask about, I grew up here in Austin. I remember as a kid driving down 620, and you've got beautiful Lake Travis to your right as you're going down into Lakeway. And yesterday I was driving down 620, and it looks like a bunch of little
islands. You know,
Sometime islands are all the time islands now, right?
I mean, the lake level's down. I mean, an incredible amount. You know, we've got a potential issue of having water problems here in Austin and Central Texas. What are some of the ideas you have to try to help resolve this issue that could be coming up in the very near future?
Absolutely. You know, I'm so excited because you were able to provide a solution for my family and help my mother-in-law sell her home on the lake. It was a difficult property to sell, a beautiful house, but a difficult property. We have been going out there for 15 years enjoying the beautiful Lake Travis. Sometime islands really are now all the time island.
That's right.
And reality is, we need a global, just like with transportation, we need a global, multi-regional solution that has cities like Pflugerville, Westlake, Lake Travis, Georgetown, instead of competing with each other as we're doing now to try to divide a shrinking resource. We need to come up with a long-term strategic regional plan that has us cooperating, pulling down resources from the Texas Water Development Board, because now there's over $2 billion of assets available to us. We need to work as a region to figure out long-term solutions, which will include conservation, continued conservation, without our water bills going up because we're doing such a good job of that. It means making sure that we're investing in the infrastructure, our existing infrastructure. There are other cities that have monitoring systems installed in their pipes to pinpoint within a close proximity where leaks are occurring and when they're occurring.
Well, Robert, I know you're super busy. We're a week away from early voting. I appreciate you coming into our office and sitting down and meeting with us. It was very interesting to hear some of the action steps you would take if you were to get in City Council for District 10. I appreciate spending the time with you.
Thank you, brother.
And your action plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I hope you enjoyed getting to learn a little bit about Robert Thomas. It seems like he's really got a great plan in place and some action steps that are going to help resolve some of the traffic congestion issues, hopefully resolve the issue with the water and the drought here in Central Texas, and of course help with affordability. So if you are in District 10, you're thinking about who to vote for, I'd highly encourage you to vote for Robert Thomas. He seems like he's really got it together, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he would do if he was elected into City Council. Thanks for watching this video, and if you're ever thinking about buying or selling, you know who to call.